I was raised in a family that had some religious values and in a family that valued tolerance. And I think it was important for my forming as a person that can actually connect with the other culture. My father was the Imam of the Gazi Husrev Mosque. He was an exceptionally humane person, a person that was able to contain his own ego to an extent that it even, it made me nervous. And, but then he was a very good man and able to grow over all the difficulties and the cultural barriers. And he was an imam, so religious person, in a country ruled by communists. It wasn't easy at all. But he did it all with ease and faith in God. And he is absolutely the best Muslim I ever saw in my life.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون.
After the Gazi Husrev secondary school, then I graduated the faculty of the Arabic language and Islamic studies in Libya, and I was very lucky to have that kind of education, which was rather classical and good, and it helped me a lot to understand that part of the world, to be able to speak Arabic, and I'm very proud of it. Bosnia and Herzegovina was a multi-religious, pluralist society, which was a very rare thing in Europe. And that's probably why we had such a rich history and so many problems. After 1463, the Ottomans came here and they brought Islam to Bosnia. Many people converted in Bosnia en masse to Islam. Beginning of the 16th century, the Sephardic Jews came from Spain. The Ottomans accepted them. It's 16th century. No United Nations, no international conventions on human rights and fundamental freedoms. But people accepted a different culture, different people. Not only they tolerated them, but they accepted them as their guests, first-rate citizens, and they're still here. A Muslim is supposed to believe that all these religions, the monotheistic religions, come from God. And it's called Ahl al-Kitab, or people of the book, meaning Judaism and Christianity. For 1,000 years, we were the living monument of the possibility that different cultures can live together. But all of a sudden, the 20th century, not the 14th, not the 15th, not the 17th century, but the 20th century brought the problem. I wanted to read books and write and maybe teach, and that's all. Have a good, quiet life. But somehow my country was attacked, 1992, there was an aggression, an attack, military attack upon my country, and we were not prepared for it. Civilians were killed. It was a war against civilians. There was genocide, wholesale, murder, concentration camps, death camps, against my people, my culture, my country. So I had to join the defense. And I did what I could on my part to play a role in the defense of my country, my people. The message from Bosnia is if you have tanks, you can attack your neighbor, take a country. All dictators will now take heart and say, well, if they can get away with it in Bosnia, why couldn't we?
The Bosnian government has expressed its satisfaction the UN has acted.
First I was the Foreign Minister of the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina on 2 years, and then I was the Prime Minister of the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Well, I'm joined now from Sarajevo by Harry Silajic, who is the Bosnian Prime Minister. Mr. Silajic.
I had a very hard time getting the attention, at least in the beginning.
The Bosnians don't have many weapons in this war, but one of the most effective of them is the soundbite.
We are betrayed by the decision makers in the United Nations, yes. We had to attract the attention to Bosnia and Herzegovina, but we are very aggressive in presenting our view.
Silajic was determined to exploit the UN's weakness to the full. He was pressing the case for action.
So we can say now, I will talk to General Rose here right now. The United Nations are, of course, the main actors within the United Nations, as I said, used containment philosophy. The containment means do nothing. Wait until they kill each other or something. They even imposed an arms embargo on both victim without arms and the aggressor with arms. They said this is, we are trying to be even-handed here. And the international community took the so-called neutral position between the aggressor and the victim. You cannot, and we as a civilization cannot afford to take that neutral position because it's a false position. You cannot be neutral between good and evil. What happened to us here was that we, here in this town in Sarajevo, for about 3 years, we were targeted and killed by kids, 20 years old, young men. They do not remember the Second World War, but they were raised, brought up in a way to believe that hate is important. And that gave them the sense of fulfillment. Hate can give you the purpose of life. It is a strong, fulfilling emotion. But then it was not on personal level. It was an organized genocide, an organized campaign in order to intimidate the whole population into leaving. And that was happening at the end of the 20th century, in the middle of Europe in global peacetime. Being a Muslim by religion here means that you are targeted. Why? Exactly because these people are not acculturated to the fact that there is something that is different. The otherness of the other is not quite a clear concept in their heads, because they are taught that only their people and their religion are good and the rest are the enemies.